This week's episode of the Pretty Neat Podcast is brought to you by you. That's right, if you'd like us to promote your content or your store, let us know by going to theprettyneatpodcast.com and clicking the mailbag. Your haircut is dapper as fuck. I love
now
it.
with less hair.
Yeah, now with less hair, I'm more aerodynamic.
Ooh.
Right. Yes, exactly. Were you more
Indeed.
aerodynamic on the rides at Disneyland yesterday? How was that?
Indeed, I was. Thank you for asking. As I had mentioned previously, we're trying to do these things where we go on rides and or attractions that we had not done or have not done in some time. So we knocked off the Silly Swing Symphony. First time ever going on that ride at California Adventure.
What'd you think?
Sure, fine. It's a carnival ride. It's, basically, that's what it is. It's a carnival ride. It's very short. You don't have to wait a long time. I didn't feel too strongly about it, if I'm being totally candid.
Okay.
We also tried to go into the I call it the Hall of Presidents, but that's not what it's called at Disneyland. And then
Great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Thank you.
We
were met with a couple of custodians or attendants who basically said, "Oh, you can't take drinks in there." Like, well, we just bought these cold beverages and we're going to drink them and wait outside. So we actually didn't go in, but you know, it's always an opportunity for next time.
Yeah. Save yourself something to do.
Yeah. Don't want to knock them all off in one trip.
Yeah. You can only look for hidden Mickeys so much. We just watched the first 3 episodes of the second season of Behind the Attraction, which covered Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones,
Haunted Mansion.
And Haunted Mansion, I think, was on the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, but they're all so good.
It's on the new season.
Oh, okay.
The first episode was I thought it was Haunted Mansion. I could be wrong. We didn't watch them in order, but really, really entertaining.
Yeah, that show is so good. It's pretty solid.
I can confirm.
How are you, Dom?
I am also good.
Nice.
Since we last spoke, Haunted Mansion was on season 1. I'm looking at it. Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, Star Tours, Tower of Terror, Space Mountain, The Castles, The Hotel, Small World, Trains, Trams, and Monorails, and the Hall of Presidents.
That's all season 1?
Yeah. Season 2, Pirates, Big Thunder, Indiana Jones, The Food, Epcot, and Nighttime Spectaculars.
Oh, wow. Well, then I still have some things to watch.
It's good times. Since we last spoke, I saw your friend and mine, Adam Sandler, live in person.
Wonderful. Nice. How was Adam? Doing well?
I can't recommend it enough. If you get a chance. It's now, I think seeing, and I mean, at this point, it's probably moot, but seeing him as close to Los Angeles as possible, because on the marquee and on the ticket, it said with special guest. So the special guests were, in order, a young man from one of his Netflix movies, then Rob Schneider, then Judd Apatow, then John Mulaney, then Adam Sandler. It was fucking great.
Yeah. John Mulaney? Well, I know that Judd Apatow and John Mulaney shared an apartment together at one point, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sandler, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were buds.
They are. And Mulaney was so funny. So great bit about dinosaurs. I don't want to spoil it. So good times. And then and I gotta say, if you can do it, you should. I sat premiere level on Monday night at crypto.com to watch the Lakers and the Magic play.
Nice.
It's premiere is the preferred section that we go to watch the Kings.
Yeah.
You feel somewhat elitist because you have your own special level.
Yes.
Your own entrance and special level. So when people are riding the escalator up to the higher section, they probably look at you, because I've done this, and go, "How the fuck do you get there?"
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh, well, you have to have your wristband and or show your ticket." And then you have your own bar. You have your own concessions.
Several, yes.
It's good. And you have your own attendant as well.
Yep.
Now, that attendant doesn't come around nearly as frequently as one may need when
We
you're
saw
with
him once.
family. You're like, guy,
when the game started.
We need more of these things that are in our hands, please. But that's good. You know, it's also great if you plan far enough in advance, which I've been contemplating this. You know, the event that in the event that Aaron comes out to California at some point, you can get suites for really like reasonable prices
For the Kings?
Yeah, for the Kings, which is, I mean, it's just the section above, but
yeah,
that's premier level, just two notches escalated in terms of your self-importance.
Good times, fantastic game. I made eye contact with LeBron, and I'm not joking about that. And
which one was that? Is that the one he took over in the fourth quarter?
No. When he comes out for the layup line, he runs down to the opposite end of the court, and we were across from the visiting bench.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, if we didn't make eye contact, he did a phenomenal job making me think we did. So,
when's your date?
Good times. It's next week.
Good.
Yeah, so I think if you get a chance to go to that arena, maybe not for the Clippers, fuck the Clippers, but for the Lakers or the Kings, you definitely should.
He probably saw your pretty neat podcast shirt and was like, "Man, I gotta get on that fucking show."
I know, but we're so booked up, we can't find a spot for him. Sorry, LeBron.
It's tough when you're a show that's done 100 fucking episodes. It's just hard to get on the list.
It's hard to get on the list.
It's tough. But LeBron, we'll make an exception. Have your people talk to our people by going to the prettyneatpodcast.com and clicking the mailbag. One of us will get back to you if we have time. I mean,
that's right.
Come on. We're busy as fuck.
Yeah, somebody will see the message. It won't be any of us, but somebody will see it, and then they'll choose to relay that to us.
So somebody in the offices will get it.
It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast. It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast.
So, what other rides have you not been on?
Oh man.
So looking at that, I had never been on. I haven't been on the Zephyr in California Adventure.
Okay.
There's also that ride just adjacent to the Silly Swing Symphony, which is like the jellyfish, and they just go up and down. Haven't been on that. Haven't been on the Elemental ride.
If you don't like heights, not for you.
I'm okay with heights.
Okay.
Haven't been on the Elemental ride.
There's an Elemental ride?
Yeah. So as you go through.
No, you're thinking of Inside Out.
Inside Out. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. It's not the Elemental ride.
That ride's depressing.
Okay. Haven't done that. I have done Goofy's Sky School, which is terrible.
I remember that going back to when it was the other. Was it Mulholland Madness?
Yeah, it was totally something else, and that ride always makes me terrified. I can't do that ride.
It's a terrible ride.
I can't do that ride.
I like it.
The torque and the heights. That combination sucks for me.
Let's see. Yeah, it used to be Mulholland Madness. That's right.
That's probably the extent of the rides that I have not been on in California Adventure.
Okay.
And then in Disneyland, it's things that you don't think to go on when you go
Casey
there.
Jr. train.
Yeah.
The Casey Jr. train?
Yeah, in Fantasyland. Right? It's above the whale, the story Pinocchio, that little train.
Storybook canal boats.
And the storybook canal boats is pretty cool if you like miniatures.
Just not in the sun.
Oh god, that would be awful. No,
Yeah,
that's a
Yeah.
good one. You got to do that one at night because like
it's not a bad one at night.
the little miniature towns and castles and stuff light up. It's actually really,
And they
really
actually
quite
have
relaxing.
little miniature actors that go in and out of the buildings.
They're very, very tiny.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Paul
Speaking of the
Rudd.
train, we rode the train a full
Okay.
rotation around the park. We rarely do that, although the Immortal Cliff will choose to ride the train at least once every visit. That's his jam. So
I like the train.
yeah, the train is fun. You got to get the train where it's facing the inside of the park, right? Where the seats are, because they're not all facing inside.
Mm.
But the ones where they're facing towards the front of the train, everybody's just looking off to the right. But if you get the train where everybody's facing towards the interior of the park,
That was nice.
it's a much better experience.
Okay.
I think it's cool on Behind the Attraction how they talk about going underneath the train track, which is where the
Or
show
Haunted
building
Mansion.
for Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the
Mhm.
Caribbean.
Yeah, it's
And
wild
I
to
thought
think
that was
about.
cool. Yeah.
Like, so
Wild.
we're in the tram, the tram unloading zone, essentially, at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, by the way, for the listeners out there, we do talk about UFC, but we also talk about other pretty neat stuff. And
Yeah,
then
this is then.
we do
This is
get
that
there.
time.
Yeah. This is that time. That's correct.
This is
Yeah.
that time.
Dom, what have you not been on?
At this point, weirdly enough, the Mater ride
I haven't been on that either.
in Cars Land. Not, I think mostly honestly because I didn't know it was there until relatively recently. It is called Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, and I have a Wikipedia page up. I'm not just pulling this from nowhere. I've been on the Luigi one, but I've never been on
We only allow facts in the sanctum of truth, so I'm glad
That's
that
right.
you're using your resources.
the Junkyard Jamboree. I've never been on that, where you just sort of go forward and then he kicks you around and you sort of spin this way. They have one of those at Hollywood Studios in Florida themed to Toy Story. It's the little green men. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
There's I couldn't even there's too many. You guys have talked about rides I haven't even heard of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess you haven't been as recently.
Yeah. 2008, 19.
So yeah, that was the only one. That's the only one left that I've never been on. The Grizzly River Run that I rode last time that we talked about was a good time. We're going tomorrow afternoon, so maybe I'll get on the Mater one at that point.
Okay.
Nice.
And I only just relatively recently rode the Casey Jr. train, mostly because I didn't know how to get on it, and I kind of didn't know what it was. So it's across, Ryan, from what is the restaurant from Beauty and the Beast? What is that called?
Red Rose Tavern.
Yeah, it's across from that, the entrance.
Oh, okay.
Do it. I will not be going to Disneyland tomorrow.
All right.
However, I will be going to my niece's eighth birthday party.
Is there a theme?
It's a movie night. They're doing like an outside movie projector on a big old wall. So it's still just having like a movie theater theme, sort of, if you will. And but I'll also be surrounded by a bunch of screaming kids. So I'll be doing that tomorrow with you in spirit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. There was something I was going to ask about the Immortal Cliff, and I forgot. So he drank your beer. Good for him.
He drinks my beer. That's
Smart
like
man.
part of the agreement. Comes over, watches the dogs, and I have a selection of beer for him to drink. And typically his go-to of late has been the Carlsberg 500 milliliter Pilsners, which comes in a pack of 12, right? So he drank 11 of those 12 in some period of time that last night, which every time we get home, like part of the routine is say hi, catch up, and then I drive him home because obviously he's intoxicated.
Yeah.
But there was you weren't mistaken. So I told you guys a couple of weeks ago. So remind me to tell you a story about the Immortal Cliff and his views on soap.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ryan, could you tell me about the Immortal Clip's view on soap, please?
I would be happy to tell you about his views on soap, or I should specify certain types of soap. So, most of everyone is familiar with Bed Bath Body Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of
So,
those.
they do tons of things. One of which is these foaming soaps that are also scented. And here at the Delzite household, we're big fans, right? We're big fans of the scented soap. We will get them to be themed with the time of year and or just pleasant scents in general. And I have been noticing every time that my father-in-law comes over, when I go into the kitchen, there's a couple of things, right? One, the man just leaves the dishes in the sink as opposed to putting them in the dishwasher. And I don't say anything. I just put them in the dishwasher. But
Nor should you.
Nor should I. Two, the Dawn dishwashing liquid soap, which is normally under the sink in a well-organized pull-out tray, is next to the Bed Bath, the normal foaming soap.
I have a theory about where this is going.
I'm
not going to guess, but
I'm
I
on
have
the
a
edge of my
theory.
seat.
So, at first I didn't say anything, and we were recently just at their house for a barbecue, and he brings it up. He says, "You know why I use your dishwashing soap as opposed to your other soap?" And I'm like, "I need to know." He's like, "Because that soap's gay."
Fuck
That's
That's what he
yes.
says. Because that soap's gay,
Yep.
and because he said that Dawn dishwashing liquid could probably cure gonorrhea if you poured it on your dick.
Which would be more useful if you were gay.
And
I feel like he has it
that,
backwards.
ladies and gentlemen, is the Pretty Neat Podcast in a nutshell.
And I literally just previous to this was talking about how we quote Cliff on this podcast from time to time because of the things that he says and his
And he
unique
went,
perspective
say
on
less.
many things.
Here's one for you.
Guess what? I want to tell you about my choice in soap.
I will
and
say
why
this.
I use this choice in soap.
If I've been handling raw meat, and most days I do, I
Mhm.
much prefer the dish soap to wash my hands.
Me too. And it's
it
because I was
feels-
half right. I was half right.
Yeah.
I sent Dom my prediction.
Yeah, he did.
And I said it's because Dawn is antibacterial.
Yep.
And
He
we
did,
use
he did
them.
say it.
We like the scented soap from Trader Joe's quite a bit.
Okay.
But if you notice, they do not say antibacterial. They don't say they kill anything. They're not disinfectants. They're not killers of bacteria.
Well,
They're
let's be
usually
clear.
more
He's
designed.
not coming over to my house and pulling out a raw packet of chicken and then making wings. He's just using this to wash his hands in the normal course
Right.
of doing things.
But you can't
where
wash
he
your
would
hands with
wash
gay
his
soap,
hands.
dude. You
But
can't
you
wash your
cannot
hands with
use-
gay soap.
You can't use gay soap, apparently. You
Nope.
have to use Dawn
Yeah.
because
Well-
what if there's gonorrhea on your hands?
And you're technically not washing your hands. You're rinsing and scenting your hands. Dawn is washing your hands because it's actually removing the bacterial life. So you actually don't use hand soap. You use scented rinse.
I'm not
detergent.
actually a hand washing guy other than when I've been handling raw meat.
But we have both. We have both of those for this exact purpose. Like we have the dish soap, more powerful antibacterial stuff in the kitchen, but in the bathrooms, we usually just have stuff that smells really fucking good. Mhm. Yeah, it's the route to
I don't like how
right.
lavender smells. I want that on the record.
It's on the record now.
All right, good.
But you know,
So Bath and Body Works soaps are in fact not antibacterial.
Right.
However, traditional soaps are proven to be just as effective as antibacterial soaps when washing your hands for the appropriate amount of time, which I can confidently say that the majority of the population on Earth does not wash their hands for the appropriate amount of time.
that's true.
Nor should they. And I am with you. Other
do,
than
that
when
is
it comes
true.
to when it comes to raw chicken and pork.
Yeah.
Those freak me out.
Yeah, you do have to give your immune something to practice on. So
Yeah.
really,
I just choose for that thing not to be fucking salmonella.
Yeah, we have. There's obviously some fights this weekend to talk about. at least some. But we actually took a small hiatus. We were all very busy the last couple weeks. We haven't caught up since Islam Makhachev beat Alexander Volkanovski. What did you think about the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight? I watched the whole thing.
I also watched the whole thing.
I disagree with the MMA communities that Francis got robbed.
I'm with you on that.
A pretty
I think
heavy
he lost
sentiment.
the fight.
Yeah.
But if we're talking moral victories here, the fact that he knocked down what is widely believed to be the best overall heavyweight boxing fighter
maybe
alive.
ever.
Yeah, he could be very well top
in the
10
conversation
all time ever, regardless of weight class, because of his achievements. And he knocked him down.
Hasn't he only been knocked down twice?
No.
Times.
Ever?
No,
That
he's
was
been
the
down.
7th time.
He's been
Twice
down a
in
number of
one
times.
fight. Yeah.
He's
In
been
heavyweight
knocked down
boxing,
4
it
times
happens.
by Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
Yeah.
4 times.
But he fought him 3 times in a row. So no, not 3 times in a row. He fought him 3 out of 4 fights. Heavyweights knock each other down. It happens.
That happens.
But he won a bunch of rounds too. So it's like he was walking him down, pushing him up against the ropes.
He was
didn't
definitely
do terrible.
Far more physical.
Yeah.
And there was that in the 4th round or the 5th round where he just missed on that right cross, that if he landed that,
he just missed on fight enders a number of times.
like that was lights out.
Yeah.
So did Tyson Fury though.
Oh yeah.
Like that was probably one of the more exciting boxing matches I've watched in a long time, where I felt like this could go either way at any moment. After the second round, especially after the knockdown, I was like, that could happen again. Holy shit. But it was cool. It was a good fight.
Do you guys hear that?
What is it?
Is that a creaking door and some light peeking out just so?
Welcome to the
What is that?
sanctum.
What
Do
is
you
that
hear
soft
it?
golden glow?
Are we in the it's warm in here.
It's you know what? It's a little warm.
I hear choral music. In the
Okay.
distance.
This place never smells like lavender.
Oh, the fire's been practicing. That's good.
Yeah.
Sanctum of truth.
I'm not going to say the fix was in, but I am going to say that I do think Tyson Fury did not think it was going to be nearly as competitive as it was. And I think right around round 3, because he just kind of played with him round 1 and 2. And then round 3, when he went down, right? Round 3?
Yep.
Round 3.
I think he was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then had to kind of adjust. And I also think when you're fighting, when you're playing any sport, and I wouldn't say that when you're boxing you're playing a sport, but when you're engaging in sport, on occasion, and we've seen this at times, think of a guy like Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was a quarterback from the University of Florida who then played for the Broncos and ended up winning a couple of playoff games for them.
Yeah, before he won
one.
the Cubs, right?
I thought he won 2.
He beat I believe it was the Steelers.
They beat the Steelers. Okay, but the point is he played better in a sense than anyone thought he would in the NFL. He didn't have the big sort of prototype arm, any of that stuff. And part of the reason for that is he was approaching things in an unorthodox way. When you don't play by the rules, occasionally it can work in your favor. And I'm not going to say that Francis Ngannou was doing something all that outlandish. I think just by being a much more competent boxer than anyone thought he would be, Tyson Fury was kind of thrown off. And it was also only a 10-round fight. Fury gets better as fights go. The notion that Francis won 6 of those rounds is just silly.
No.
Because that's
3
what
or
winning
4.
the fight means.
No, it was like 3, maybe 4.
The one ref, I think, had it 95-92 or 96-93.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is a little better than, or is a little more accurate, maybe. I'm trying to find the card.
What do you think's the next fight for Fury then?
It's Usyk.
It's
Yeah,
Usyk.
it's already signed.
signed it. It's in February.
Oh, and Usyk.
So
Usyk semi called out Ngannou too.
Well, like
that's
Usyk's
a
like,
real.
hey, I can get paid.
I'd like to get
Yeah.
some of that money. Usyk really should not. That's not something he's actually interested in. He's much smaller than these guys.
Huh.
So again, I'm not going to say
Yes.
the fix was in. I do think there was an element of Tyson Fury not taking it as seriously. And you know, he wasn't going to go out there and just put it on him in 3 rounds because the Saudis put up a lot of money and they wanted to put on a show. So, you know, I just think it is what it is. I think if they fought again, Tyson probably stops him inside of 7 rounds, but that's just me.
Yeah, preparation for sure. I think you're spot on in saying that he didn't take it seriously. And the fact that he had to probably rally after getting knocked down and be like, all right, so what do I do to use my size and my skill to
not
him,
lose? Yeah.
to not lose a boxing match. Yes, exactly. So after that, you know, one, he's not fighting in December now because he got fucked up to a certain degree. I mean, when I say fucked up, I mean battered, bruised, potentially concussed in a manner that he's not going to turn around and fight in 6 weeks.
Yep.
Just not going to happen. So now it's pushed out to February. And now the great thing about Francis is we're having like all these hypothetical discussions around, should he fight Deontay Wilder next? Or is the UFC going to cave on their will never co-promote type of stance and co-promote with the PFL and do a John Jones, Francis Ngannou MMA heavyweight match? I know, I see you shaking your head, and I know that the UFC likely will not do that because Dana White is nothing if not obstinate.
Oh, he will cut off his nose to spite his face.
Nope, fuck it. I don't care how much money we'll make. I'm not gonna do it.
Because he's not going to cede power, right?
Right. Well, they already, whether they have verbally said it out loud or not, the consensus is the UFC made a mistake. And Francis bucked the trend of people
with Conor or
leaving the
with
UFC.
Francis?
With Francis.
Okay.
With Conor,
they made money.
Hey, no issues there, except now like they're in a position where they're kind of always having to cater to Conor's wants and needs. All right, well, yeah, well, fuck it. We'll get rid of USADA, right? You want to fight? Win? Yeah, we'll get rid of USADA. No big deal. Or, you know, the prospect of, or the idea of Conor with one win immediately gets a title shot. In no way, shape, or form, any other fighter gets that same type of treatment. But with Conor, it's like, oh yeah, so he beats so and so, he's going to get the next title shot in whatever weight class he wants, no less.
Okay.
That's part of it. So
yep.
I think Francis should fight Deontay. I would love to see that.
How do you think that goes?
I don't know. That's why I want to see it.
Okay.
I feel like that's a knockout either way. But who?
Yeah.
Right? Who and how, right? Is that Francis steamrolling him in the first round? Is it Deontay steamrolling him in the first round?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll say this. So we haven't seen Deontay since the 3rd Fury fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, he has not fight since.
Okay. That's been a long time. And I really do think Tyson Fury took something from him. I really do. I really think that Tyson took something from him that he's never getting back.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
I think he took part of his soul, and he did it twice, really, really definitively. To a guy who had never experienced that before. I think the Deontay Wilder pre any of the 3 Fury fights absolutely starts as Francis Ngannou inside of probably 2 minutes. Especially assuming it's that Francis, which was not. I mean, what I don't understand is how Francis really had no interest in striking with Cyril Gane and then stood there for 10 rounds with Tyson Fury.
And looked,
it's not going to take him down.
Looked more competent than he had previously with his stance switching.
Yeah, a lot better.
Like being, I thought, fairly fluid for Francis, right? We're not talking about Cyril Gahn and Francis. That's a totally different ballpark. But yeah, it's interesting. And also, by the way, Deontay's made 70 million in his career boxing.
Okay, so you're saying he doesn't need to do it?
No, I'm just saying he's made a lot of money.
The combined earnings of all active UFC heavyweights.
We may never see Deontay again, frankly.
We could not, but if he wanted the next big fight to make a shitload of money, it would be fighting Francis right now.
Yeah.
And it would have to be in a relatively short amount of time to ride that wave.
Yeah. So Tyson Fury, how much has he made? So this is 65, but payments in over 100. So he's done pretty well for himself. Anyway, I think old Deontay absolutely starches him. Today, I don't know. And I actually think in a strange way, preparing for an MMA fight against Cyril Gahn could be potentially more complex than preparing to box Tyson Fury.
I know what you're saying.
Maybe
right?
not, but it's not a crazy discussion.
There's different components. There's a lot more variations with Tyson Fury, but there's more overall components with Cyril Gahn that you have to account for. So I understand where you're coming from, but it also feels sacrilegious to say that, like, oh, maybe it's harder to prepare for Cyril Gahn.
Maybe what I should say
Tyson
is
Fury.
They're not comparable.
Yeah, it's
in the way
totally
you prepare for them. Yeah,
agreed.
It also is a really bad look for guys like Ben Askren, Anderson Silva, and fucking who was the other one? The wrestler,
Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley, thank you.
Yeah,
it's a really bad look for those guys. So
yeah, they look like shit.
I don't think this means anything for Francis John Jones. I know some people have been saying, "Oh, well, he definitely beat John Jones." I don't know that that's what the translation is.
I mean, I think Francis would beat John Jones.
Haven't you kind of always thought that though?
We did kind of. We bantered about that before.
I don't know if I've always felt that way, but I feel that way now.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I this is how I feel, right? These are my feelings. I'm going off of vibes right now. I'm totally vibing on Francis.
So what's next for Francis then? Something in PFL?
I don't know if that's immediately next. It likely will be, unless something drops in like this Deontay situation. It says, oh, well, hey, Deontay was trying to make a fight with Andy Ruiz, but that's not happening right now. So maybe they go to the bargaining table and come up with a number, and guess what? They're going to fight in April. Like, I would do that first. And then if you come out, I mean, how you come out of that fight, maybe you fight at the end of the year for PFL when they go pay-per-view.
Next year, you're saying?
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
Now, I don't know who PFL's heavyweights are. Ryan Bader's in Bellator, right?
Correct.
It just wouldn't shock me if a guy like Ryan Bader beat Francis, however, for whatever reason.
Because he just takes him down.
I just think because I think for everything we think we know about fighting, I feel like we just consistently get proved that we don't know anything about fighting. And on any day, something can just not work. You know what I mean? Like, it's also very possible Tyson Fury just finally had an off day, you know? And that 99 times out of 100, because he did not look like the Tyson Fury that fought Deontay Wilder or that fought Dillian White or Derek Chisora or any of these guys. He didn't look like that version of himself. So I don't know.
He didn't. Also, all of the PFL heavyweights on their roster, I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, that's why I was reaching for a guy whose name I knew. Maybe the heavyweight from ONE FC would be a better example of what I'm talking about.
Fabrizio Verdum would be good.
No, the other guy, the Russian guy.
Yeah, Verdum I think is in Bellator anyway, but no, he's PFL. But they're gonna buy PFL. I like what Justin Gaethje had to say about why boxers will never do the reverse and go into the UFC. And he said, why the hell would they do that? It's less money, more pain, more embarrassment, plenty
Yeah.
less chances. Absolutely not. That would be stupid of them to do.
Anatoly Malikin is who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think Justin got it spot on though.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I'm amazed that they're letting Derek Lewis fight this weekend with his driving incident.
I don't think I could be
but I don't really care.
less surprised
Yeah, not really.
that Derek Lewis got charged with reckless driving. I don't think I could be less surprised.
Yeah, I don't really think so either. You mentioned John Jones. It's just, I mean, he comes up on the show from time to time, but it's just random this time because I went camping with him. It's wild that you brought him up.
No,
I did.
How did you go camping with John Jones?
Great. It was pretty cool. You know, we were just kicking back. It was him. A couple other heavyweights were there, but honestly, a few other fighters from multiple weight classes were there.
Okay.
Yeah, John Jones was probably the highlight. But
was Jamal Hill there?
he wasn't.
No.
No. Mark Coleman was, oddly enough. Came out of retirement and came to join us. As the other light heavyweight. Stephan Bonner was there, also light heavyweight at the time. But his ghost, I should say, joined us while we went camping. Oh, God. Who else do you think was there?
Was Yuri Prohaska there?
No, he wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yep. I am sure. Somebody we've met from our old stomping work grounds.
Dan
there.
Henderson?
He was there. It was
Really?
wild. Hendo was there. Yeah. In fact, he while we were there, he totally landed a massive left hand on Mike Bisping because Bisping was there too.
Okay. Did you hear, speaking of Dan Henderson, Ryan is opening a restaurant, brewery, distillery in his gym?
Oh, weird.
At Quest?
Mm-hmm.
In Temecula?
He said it on Joe Rogan's podcast, yeah.
Fucking Dan Henderson.
Maybe-
Hey, like, I'll keep an eye out. We'll have to go check it out.
Oh, we're going. We're
We'll have to
going
go check it
for
out.
sure.
Dude, you're recording an episode from there. I bet he would let you too. That'd be cool. Just
I bet
remind
you he
him
would.
about the camping trip.
Right.
Yeah, the camping trip we talked about on the 100th episode.
Mark Coleman, Stephan Bonner. Like, Stephan Bonner wasn't a two-weight champion.
No.
Dan Henderson was, but in Pride.
Yeah, there's
John
a
Jones.
couple of champs were there. GSP was there. Yeah, he
Okay.
hung out. Yeah, he was talking a lot of shit about dinosaurs with Brock Lesnar because he thought he was one.
Wow. You like dinosaurs?
I'm glad somebody knows that level of info about GSP.
I love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Is he a dinosaur guy?
Yeah,
he
is.
loves
Totally
dinosaurs.
is.
That annoys me.
Yeah. A dinosaur that is the alligator of this group of dinosaurs is Jim Miller.
Was Leo Carlson there? That one's for Ryan.
I don't know.
Who? Don't say who. Don't say who. That upsets me when you say who. I don't like that.
Are these all fighters that fought on UFC 100?
That's exactly who it was.
Oh, wow.
Because we went camping to celebrate our 100th episode. So
All right.
I invited all the UFC 100 guys, and they all showed
I thought
up.
it was something along the lines of guys who got hurt before they could defend a title.
Oh, that's a good one, too. Oh, man, that'd be hard. That'd be
Yeah.
a tough camping trip to go on. But yeah, Shannon.
Oh, you Leo Carlson bullshit. Dom.
Don't say who. Makes me mad when you say that.
That was a fun camping trip. Thanks for
Yeah.
going on it with me.
Where's he from? Where's Leo from?
You know what? I knew this like hours ago too. I don't remember. I know where he is now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, he's in Anaheim now, but he's
Yeah.
from Sweden.
That's right.
Yeah, from Sweden.
I also enjoy the kid who plays in Chicago.
Yeah, he's
Connor,
number one.
Connor Bednar or whatever. Bedard. Thank you.
He's the number one overall pick.
Yeah. Leo was 2, wasn't he?
Yes. Still the best player in the league is Connor McDavid. So
Connor McDavid is a fucking freak.
that guy is amazing. So fast. So
Yeah.
smooth.
Here's how I landed with the Ducks, Ryan. Are you ready?
Okay. Tell me.
Aaron, I'm a hockey guy now, and you need to get into it too. Because in Ryan's words, and I think you are correct, it is the best it's ever been, and it has sucked for 15 years.
Hey, it's a pretty succinct but appropriate like synopsis of what hockey has developed into from what it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was about to go away forever a while ago. I remember.
Well, the NHL was, right?
Yep.
I believe so.
They were really close to only having like one season left.
The Ducks have a couple really fun young players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have good young talent.
Yep.
And this sucks to say, but it's true that in the next like 3 to 4 years, they'll be contending if they stay on the same trajectory because of what they have in development.
Mm-hmm.
Management has to play it right. That's a huge portion of it. If management just fumbles the bag, then they'll just be a handful of really talented players with a shit team around them.
And they are dangerously close to Angel Stadium, where that happens every year. So
it's like rubbing off by proximity.
Hey,
I have faith in Coach Bombay.
Yes.
The point is
pulling out the flying V.
The point is
Emilio Estevez is the coach of the Mighty Ducks, correct?
Yes, it is a lot of fun to watch. And also, hockey jerseys are the best jerseys.
They really are. Hockey jerseys
they are the best
jerseys.
They got smart like the NBA did and started like tweaking the way that they played their games, but they did it on a much more aggressive scale. So now overtime is exciting to watch. It's not just here's another 20-minute period of fucking boring ass hockey if you're going into a stalemate and like, oh, by the way, it's going to be 5 minutes. And if you don't score, then we're going to do shootouts. And everybody loves shootouts.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
The Ducks are on, I believe, a 6-game winning streak.
Are they? Yeah. Kings just beat the Senators 3-2.
Yeah, they have, let's see, they are on a...
Just proof of how far the
5-game winning streak.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The knuckle puck.
Dude, the knuckle puck. That dude's on SNL now.
Yeah, he is. I saw a commercial for Good Burger 2 and I wanted to puke. Anyway.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Kenan Thompson is who I was referring to, the originator of the knuckle puck, who's on SNL now. And Kel, I saw him recently on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, and he did not do very well.
No, we'll talk about that. We'll review that on a recap in a future episode.
All right.
But yeah,
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I'm down.
And now it's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast picks.
This weekend is UFC Sao Paulo. Almieda. Watching him, he's probably the singular most draw on this whole card.
Yes. And the Bonfim brothers are also going to be fun to watch.
Yep, Gabriel and Ishmael. Okay, I stand corrected. Caio Barraio is very exciting to watch.
The throat tattooed man himself.
Yeah. Yep. And he's such a nerd too. Renat Fakhretdinov. He's definitely, he just came into the rankings, number 15. So when you
Yes,
say
say
somebody's
that
a
5 times
prospect.
fast.
Like,
Armin Petrosian,
yeah, and he's fighting
who is
Rodolfo
not
Vieira.
Almin Sarukian.
No. Rodolfo Vieira. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, what fight am I thinking of? Because he is so good.
Chris Curtis.
Is that who
Who-
I'm thinking about?
Well, he lost to him.
That's probably what it was. I remember when
He also lost to Anthony Hernandez.
Fluffy.
Luffy.
That's right. And Fluffy was the first guy to beat him. Because Vieira's a
Yep.
submission machine. Like that's his thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his wins by submission.
So good luck, Armin.
But also one of his 2 losses by submission.
Yeah. Well, keep your arm out, Armin.
You win by the sub, you die by the sub, you know?
Yep. That's what Jared from Subway said.
That's right.
I do like the Ishmael Bonfim Vince Pichel matchup. Vince is very exciting. So I mean, yeah, he's a plus 390, probably gonna lose. But he's one of those guys who's gonna either catch you or get caught. So this fight is not gonna go to a decision. Like if I was betting on this fight, I would actually just bet for it to be stopped and for Ishmael to win. I don't see this going to a decision at all. I see a club and sub or a knockout. For the Bonfim, I think both Bonfims are going to win. Those guys are great.
They're pretty heavy favorites.
They're both really, really good.
They're both really good.
Yeah. Angela Hill is on the prelims. That's always fun.
That's
Overkill.
Is
She's
it
on the
fun?
prelims.
She's on the prelims a lot.
Yeah, her fights
Yeah.
are fun. They're good. She's pretty exciting. I like watching her fight. But it is like she is the definition of like a women's MMA fight. 90% of the time it's going to decision.
She's female
38.
cowboy.
She is the female cowboy.
She's
You're totally
female
right.
cowboy.
Yeah.
She just
She has
fights
not-
all the time.
She does fight all the time. She has not been involved in a stoppage since January 25th, 2020. And she has fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times since then.
Wow. Talk about active. That's wild.
You know, the funny thing about her, like being so active, she didn't actually get into mixed martial arts until she was in her 20s.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I know that she was
Yeah.
on Ultimate Fighter. I don't even remember which season.
20
Maybe the first. Oh, wow. Okay.
and 25.
We also have another women's strawweight with Eduarda Mara and Montserrat Ruiz. I only recognize Montserrat Ruiz's photo, but I don't remember when she fought Amarim. I don't. I have
It was
no
just in
recollection.
August.
Huh.
You don't remember though, because
Yeah, I
that was the
recognize the name
Vicente
for sure.
Luque Javier dos Anjos card.
Yeah. So nobody watched her fight yet. So well, have fun on your debut, Montserrat.
Yep.
Since you're actually having one, I guess. Fun. Mark Diakese is fighting. Who else did I see that was a good one? Oh, Modestas Bukauskas is back. That's interesting. That's a fun fight. Vitor Petrino and Modestas Bukauskas. Do you remember Modestas? Because he like came into the UFC as a hot contender and then he like lost immediately. Like he was a champ. And then he left the UFC because they booted him right away. And he is undefeated since he came back, since he left and came back.
So he lost to Khalil Roundtree, then he went to Cage Warriors, and then since then, twice this year, he fought Tyson Pedro and Zach Pauga.
Oh wow, and he beat both of them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat Tyson Pedro. Like he's not a joke. So I'm actually very excited about this one. This is like to see who's going to fight somebody in the ranking next light heavyweight fight. That's what this one is. This is who's
why not? You need
Mhm.
somebody. You need somebody to step up there and fight somebody, right? To figure out what the fuck's going on in light heavyweight.
Still fucked up.
Hey, did you guys see the most recent article on ESPN.com regarding like the new faces of MMA?
I saw the headline for it.
Okay, so if you look at the picture, the headline says this: the new faces of MMA, projecting the next Makachev, Misha, and Mighty Mouse. But what you see in the background
Is not
are Misha Tate,
yeah.
Islam Makachev, and fucking Frankie Edgar.
What a weird selection of photos.
I'm like, okay, who wrote this?
This is
So
like
they say if you like Kamaru Usman, you'll love Jailton Almeida. If you liked Frankie Edgar, you'll love Ilia Topuria.
that's
if you like the
reasonable.
Ronda Rousey Misha Tate rivalry, you'll love Aaron Blanchfield. Okay.
Mm,
If you like Stipe Miocic, you'll love Bo Nickel. Okay.
they're
If you
not
like
wrong.
GSP or Valentina, you'll love Usman Nurmagomedov. That what?
Well, Usman
If you liked
does.
Michael Bisping, you'll love Ian Machado Gary. Oh, here's a fun one. If you liked Demetrius Johnson, you'll love Tom
Like Tom
Aspinall.
Aspinall. Like, what the fuck is that?
Okay,
They're very alike.
yeah, one's like twice the size of the other.
The Islam and Umar thing I get. However, Umar has way better and way more effective leg kicks. Like, I would say if you like Justin Gaethje or Khabib, you'll like Umar.
Yeah, it's a weird like non-linear comparison.
Very
So
nonlinear.
you're just like, I guess. I guess. I don't know.
This isn't credited to anyone. It's just credited to ESPN.com.
Yeah, this is
What are the odds they use ChatGPT to write it?
You're like, don't put my fucking name on this, all right?
Yeah. Have you seen there's a very early clip of like Joe Rogan and GSP and Frankie Edgar and a couple other fighters on a talk show on ESPN, like one of the first UFC's appearances, and they misidentified GSP and Frankie Edgar. They swapped them. And like Joe Rogan and all of them couldn't stop laughing at like the fact that like one is it's the GSP. Like and they didn't know. They don't know who that is.
Yeah,
This
MMA
is
is
a
not
really
really ESPN's wheelhouse.
And I don't really I don't Misha Tate is an ambassador for the UFC. She works for the company doing that. But like who are the new faces of I never really saw Misha Tate as like a face for MMA.
Either did I. No, that's the thing is like,
I mean, she was on Celebrity Big Brother with Tito Ortiz or Chuck Liddell.
yeah, but you also really like Big Brother.
Yeah, it's like a totally separate thing. Like, is that the way she's the ambassador? Is like she was on one reality show? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know any diehard Misha fans, I guess. You know, I know people who are still fans of Ronda Rousey and not Misha. I know people that are big fans of Holly Holm, who Misha beat to win the belt. But
Are you sure that you know people who are big fans of Holly Holm?
Yeah, of Holly Holm, sure. Yeah, especially oddly enough in the card trade, there's a lot of Holly Holm fans.
All right.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it came from kickboxing though. Like she did have a pretty good base come with her. But even now, people I know who still like Ronda Rousey like her because she's good in WWE. Like, whatever. Did you hear that Anthony Pettis might be returning to the UFC?
Really?
Yeah. He apparently posted something that everything was signed and done and ready to make a new push. Like he's actually coming in to try and push for the belt. You're gonna put him in lightweight or welterweight? Probably welter. He can't get down to lightweight anymore. He's got
No, I don't think so. He's 170 or bust. Like
maybe his
he was fighting in the PFL. He wasn't great.
No.
So coming back to the UFC and fighting I don't know what his expectations are. It's definitely a lower level of competition. So like I understand like you have to be confident in your abilities and yourself, but think it's a bit delusional to say I'm coming back to the UFC and I'm going for the 170 belt.
Unless it's TRT showtime.
Oh,
Which
like
I
starting
think
next
even
year.
if it is. Maybe that's what Tony Ferguson was talking about.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Poor Tony. I really hope that he does something fun with Paddy Pimblett. That's
It's going to be bad if he loses to him.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for either one. I think, of course, it will be bad for the UFC if Paddy loses. If Paddy loses, that's bad for the UFC. I think.
I don't know. I think the UFC is like they're probably okay at this point in time. If he loses,
I
they're
agree.
like, all right, we move away from Paddy. Like, you're fucking more trouble than you're worth.
Because they know he lost that fight.
Yeah, yep. We know that fight. Poor Gordon. Poor Gordon. Anyway, this headliner, I guess we have to talk about it. Jailton Almeida and Derek Lewis. I mean, Derek Lewis needs to win to stay almost relevant. Like he's not
Needs
relevant
a win to stay almost relevant.
He's not relevant in the title picture.
No, he's not.
And
Fair.
if he wins, he still won't be relevant to the title picture because Thomas Almeida is not a contender. Unless he annihilates Thomas Almeida and it's in more than just a one-punch fluke.
It's Jailton Almeida.
Jailton, thank you. So
here's maybe a more interesting way from a game Ryan and I have been playing to think about this fight. Aaron, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Jailton Almeida in the total fight over under 15.5 significant strikes.
Under.
Ryan?
What was the over-under number?
15.5.
Over.
Okay. Total fight time, 4 minutes.
Under.
Okay.
Yep. I think Jail.
So you think he gets more than 15.5 significant strikes off in less than 4 minutes?
Hey, if he brutalizes him, yeah, if he swarms on him, he totally could. I think that's what's going to happen. But I think as soon as Derek Lewis touches the ground, Jailton's going to wrap him up and submit him.
So
I think this is a club and sub.
His significant strikes landed per minute is just under 4. 4 minutes will put him at 16.
So they know they're not stupid.
Is just under 4, and over under we're talking less than a round.
But he could totally barrage him. I could totally see him catching Derek with something, putting him on his knees or his butt, and then just a swarm. And we're talking like.
But the other side of that is Derek could catch him.
Yeah.
And it does go under 4 minutes, and he doesn't get the 15.5 off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a stay away for me, but I thought they were interesting numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. I did get that app. And
no free shout outs, but if they want to sponsor.
Yeah. Well, I got your code. So
did you use it?
I'll put that in. I'm going to make a deposit.
All right.
Within the next couple days. And yeah. I'll join you guys. Can you link up on there and be friends and see what each other are doing on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just on your
That's Ryan's soap. This is on your own.
You can share your entries so that people can see what you chose.
Yeah.
And it would be up to them to follow and see what the results were.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear how I got freaking jobbed last week?
Oh boy.
So I had a 6 pick that was going to hit because they had credited TJ Watt with a full sack, and then for some reason changed the stat and gave him a half, and I had him at over 0.75, and the whole thing fucked me.
Ugh.
Let's see. Derek Lewis has not had a fight. 4 of his last 5 fights have not gone more than 4 minutes.
Damn.
Hmm.
Damn. Well, props to Ryan too for going 6 for 6.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's dope.
How did
Hey, it
that
was
make
pretty
you
cool.
feel?
Winner, winner.
I was pretty stoked. In fact, like I actually just wanted to share with you guys as soon as I realized I hit for 6 for 6.
Yeah.
So good.
But I held off.
Yeah,
I held off. My my 30 time multiplier free entry is not going very well because Kenny Pickett's not really throwing for a lot of yards right now.
That surprised me, that pick you made.
I thought that they would score more points.
Okay. The Thursday night games though are always weird.
Yeah, very valid point that the Thursday games don't really trend according to statistics.
So I'm looking at my 30 point or 30x boost right now. I don't have anybody in today's game. But I do have Victor Wembanyama. What do you think of him, Ryan? You've been watching this?
I have been watching his games. I've been intrigued, right? So a little bit of a slow starter. He's been finishing games fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be really good. His agility for somebody who's 7'4" is
It's kind of shocking to watch, isn't it?
You're like, okay, this guy's at the 3-point line and he's moving pretty similarly to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Just bigger, right?
Yeah.
Just bigger. But I don't have the same like feeling as when LeBron first came in the league of like, wow, this is going to be the best player in basketball for years to come.
Which LeBron, it was pretty clear that was going to be the case.
Yes.
With Wembanyama, I watch him and it is startling the way he moves around, but it is also like one of those legs is going to snap. That's going to happen.
Did you see him dress up as the Slender Man?
No. Is that what he did? That makes sense.
A pregame. It was very appropriate, but
okay.
Like, good God, this guy is huge.
I have a line for him that is going pretty well so far in Kevin Durant tonight. I have Tyreek Hill and Austin Eckler both to get a touchdown. Aaron Donald's got to get a sack, and then Jalen Hurts has to do to Dallas what Jalen Hurts can do, and then we'll see. I also have the
Tyreek Hill and Austin Eckler with the touchdown.
I did not like a lot of the numbers this week.
So here's the one caveat is that the Chiefs and the Dolphins are playing in Germany this Sunday. And that's always going to potentially throw things off on how well the game's going to be played.
Yep. Which now makes me wonder if I should have gone with the under. Although I believe I heard the Eagles have been there for like 7 or 8 days. And the Chiefs just left yesterday or something.
Chiefs are like, fuck it. We'll go when we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, Tyreek said that the Chiefs were going to get that work. Apparently, that he was quoted saying they were going to get that work. So
he's so fast.
You're going to get all that smoke.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good time. This particular app, again, no free shout outs, but if you want to sponsor us, they have all kinds of shit you can
Yeah, you could do some bets on League of Legends.
Yep, Rocket League, Valorant.
It's like what could I bet? What can I do fantasy prop bets on?
Yeah.
Tennis?
I like this.
How would you do tennis?
I don't know. Total
F1?
games. I hit on a live golf one last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
It was holes one. It was like one golfer against another.
Oh, so what their score was on that hole specifically?
Against each other, yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I've been playing NBA too.
Mhm.
I've been playing a lot of NBA. I have not been doing as well as I've been doing with NFL. NFL, I've been consistently getting a few here and a few there, but I hadn't hit on all 6 previous to what I did over the weekend.
I've never hit on an all 6. I have hit a 5. That was before I realized how the 6 picks works, and it's definitely where the like value is.
Yeah.
I like the points plus rebounds plus assists, or in football, the passing, rushing, receiving, that's or touchdown, that sort of thing. I like the combo stats.
I like the combo stats too. And I started to get more into that with like receiving, rushing, totals, and then also like receiving, rushing, passing touchdowns with the combo players. I'm into that.
Yeah,
I'm into
me
that.
too. Me too. I hit one on Monday when I went to the Laker game. I had LeBron, Anthony Davis, who I knew. I was telling my brother the whole way there he's going to go 28 and 12, and I think he went 29 and 15. Yeah, good times. So no free shout outs, but this app knows who they are, and if you want to, believe me, the sponsorship is much cheaper than you think, and we'd love to do one of your a pretty neat promo, which is one of the tabs on the bottom there.
Yes,
that would be sick.
The PNP, pretty neat promo.
That's right.
Hey, we could do we could do the PNPP.
Oh yeah, we could. Yes, we
PNP
could.
picks.
Yeah, the PN. Yeah,
PPP.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of P's in there. So you
So
know who
many
you are.
Ps.
Get at us. So
Yeah.
this is a weird thing, and
Wait, isn't that OnlyFans though?
Probably only PP. All
right, we'll do an OnlyFans too. It's fine.
Yeah, come on, get at us. So I'm actually looking at the UFC Austin card here in my neck of the woods, which is on December 2nd. I knew you were
going to bring this up.
And the only thing I'm going to bring up about it, which is pretty unique, is it is a fight night, and it has 2 5-round fights, the co-main and the main. The main is Beneil Dariush and Arman Tsarukyan, but Dan Hooker and Bobby Green are also going to go 5 rounds.
Rob Font, Davison Figueiredo on this card,
right?
Did they give an explanation as to why they did 2 5-rounders for this?
I have no idea.
Because I mean, that's weird, right?
It is. And I mean, for neither to actually, yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's just like they're both mains. They're both main event fights.
I guess. Yeah.
Sort of.
Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum, that's a great fight.
Right?
That's a great fight. That's
Kelvin
going back down.
Yeah. And I know I bashed her a minute ago, but I mean, Misha Tate and Julia Avila, that'll be good.
Yeah, well, Misha Tate is probably better as an ambassador these days as opposed to actively fighting.
Yeah. Drakkar Close, Joe Selecki. It's not a bad
one of the name champs, Wellington Turman.
God, that son of a bitch. Eye poking the death out of Sam Alvey. He won that fight, I tells you. But I might.
Why is his nickname not Beef?
I don't know, but he's just an asshole.
You guys, people have to lean in. You got to lean into these things.
Beef Wellington Turman. That's fucking great.
It's funny.
Gordon Ramsay would be proud.
Arman Chicken Tsarukyan. Like Chicken Tsarukyan sounds like a Greek
dish.
It
does. Yes, it
And
does.
it sounds delicious.
And honestly, I'll have the Dariush.
So if you're interested in watching a good menu, December 2nd is a pretty good one to catch.
It's a pretty good card.
See if,
it's not a bad card.
Might try and get a ticket or two to that. And
they can't be that expensive, right?
I heard that they were actually pretty reasonably priced.
Yeah, they were when the Dominic Cruz Cheeto Vera was out here.
Yeah, this one, my wife and I saw Cowboy Cerrone when he headlined against Cowboy Medeiros, Yancey. It was Cowboy versus Cowboy. And I think we paid like $80 a ticket.
That's not bad.
And they were not bad seats at all. Like Moody Center's a pretty small venue.
Speaking of tickets, I bought tickets to multiple events today.
Oh shit.
Today?
Yeah, today, not for today, but for the future. I got Rams Saints tickets for what happened on the field. Somebody get hurt? Ryan, are you watching the football game?
I just had the play-by-play going up. I didn't watch the live action.
Receiver from Tennessee. That doesn't look good. Anyway, Rams Saints which is a Thursday night right before Christmas, with my dad, and then the famed Disney on Ice,
Wow.
which my 8-year-old has insisted has become a Christmas tradition. So
Disney on Ice. Funny you should mention, I have tickets with Ashley's parents, so Cliff and Patty, and myself. We're going to the December 23rd game at SoFi, which are Chargers and Bills.
Nice.
Prime time game.
December 23rd, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going
Saturday. You're going on Sunday.
No, I'm going Thursday.
Yeah, we're going on Saturday.
Nice. You sure it's the 23rd? Because I thought mine was the 21st. No, mine's the 20th.
Yeah, it's the 23rd. And we're going to go see Yes this Saturday in Riverside at the Fox Theater. And then
what's that?
Yes is a band. They're from the 60s.
Uh-huh.
They're like
no, my game's on the 21st. Your game can't be on the 23rd. Yours is the 24th.
It's on the 24th. That was the 23rd. Yeah. No, mine's the 23rd. It's a Saturday. It's on.
It's a Saturday game. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, nice.
Saturday at 5. You can go see Yes on Saturday in Riverside, and then Ashley's going to go see Kim Petras, pop person in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of concerts going on recently.
The Fox Theater, I saw Chris D'Elia there, the comedian.
I saw Tom Segura there.
Okay. They have a really cool like food hall very close to it.
Yes, right next door. Like you go down the stairs, it's right there.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called. My apologies, but fun place.
It is a fun place.
Yeah. Points, rebounds, and assists. Did Wembanyama hit it in the first? Yep, he sure did. Good. Come on, Kevin Durant, score some points.
Let's go, Kevin.
Oh, here we go. So the base tickets for UFC Austin are $129.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's not terrible.
No, and it's second level.
And I told you guys this. I got Blink-182 tickets for July as well.
In SoFi, right?
Yeah, we considered Vegas and Arizona, but settled on SoFi. I'm not a concert guy. I'm going to say that right now. But
okay. Not a concert guy.
Gonna go to this one. So,
but it's Blink.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Not Taylor Swift.
You wouldn't be able to get tickets.
Wouldn't want to. I'm not even anti Taylor Swift, Ryan. I think since we've last talked, the whole her and Travis Kelce thing has like completely changed the way people view. They're like, oh, Travis Kelce, he's famous now. Like, no, he was famous before.
Yeah,
he was very famous before. This is stupid.
It's a whole another genre of people that are now aware of Travis Kelce that normally wouldn't have been aware of him.
My thing is she really? Are people really like, oh, I'm going to turn the Chiefs on to see if Taylor Swift is sitting there? Like, I think this is a media thing that is drummed up for whatever reason, because I don't think anyone cares.
I think NFL and Taylor are in on it.
Yeah,
they're doing it for mutual gain. Because the NFL, again, like changing their Twitter and like curating things to Taylor, and I mean, it's no.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's not on accident.
Patrick Mahomes' wife and Taylor are like side by side in the box, right? The suite. and just being they got a camera on them like 24, the entirety of the game. It's intentional, right? They're maximizing that opportunity. Taylor Swift, get those Swifties invested into football.
I'm really trying not to be the guy that's annoyed by it, but I'm annoyed by it. I don't have a good reason. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever, but
you're just like, why?
I don't really have
why do you care?
Opinion on Taylor Swift. I think the whole concert thing she was doing, anybody who can be that successful, I celebrate. That's great. I had to chaperone last week a middle school dance. I worked in high school for a bunch of years, never had to go to one, and now I actually have to. And it wasn't as bad as you would think, but every time the DJ played a Taylor Swift song, the entire crowd went fucking ape shit. Yeah, and it got me thinking, like, I wonder if being a Taylor Swift fan is like being a Laker fan. Like, it doesn't really matter. You're just a Taylor Swift fan. You know?
You're just a Taylor Swift fan.
Like, it's not even. And then so I was talking to like our speech pathologist because she was standing there, and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm not anti Taylor Swift. I just don't understand. I don't understand the love, the like adoration. And she goes, they're really simple lyrics. They can relate to them. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I suppose that's a good point. You know, I don't know. It's just not it's past me, you know?
I don't know. It's people fall victim to it. It's that kind of hive mind. Like, I need to be involved in this. My wife is into it.
Is she?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, she is. No, nothing against her. She's into it. She's talking about, Taylor's version of 1989 coming out and how she can't stop listening to it. And then, like, when I hear it in the car, I'm like, kind of sounds the same. But, that's
just because of the licensing deal or whatever, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. It's all about being able to make the money off of downloads and album sales off of that version as opposed to the first one. And
are the songs different?
No, they're almost identically recorded. There's some difference, right? Maybe technology's improved a little bit, or there's a different embellishment on certain things, but it's the same song in the same order and for the same duration. But people react to them like it's the best thing ever. When we already had this years ago, right? It's like we got this a few years ago.
Blank Space is a good song.
Sure. Yeah. Taylor has lots of great songs.
Does she?
She does.
She has one called Slut! !
Whoa. I don't know if I've heard that one.
That might be the name of the episode.
Sloots.
Slut.
2024.
Wow.
Hey, you know why I love MMA so much? It's pretty neat. That is 100% true, but it's also because it brings us together. You know what? Violence really does bring people together. Yes, let's get